long in history, but we're in town more.
Right.
Wait.
Okay, so we good to go?
Wait, what's it called? House Zero? No, they said there's.
Hi, everybody.
Actually, I'm not gonna write that.
Thank you. We're all going to rise for the pledge as we start the meeting, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh,
That's to you guys.
My financial advisor.
Oh my God.
Spend a whole.
Who's the list? Dina?
No. Jimmy could be.
Great, that's perfect. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. Today is Thursday, April 4th, 2024, and welcome to the Herricks Public Schools Board of Education public meeting. We're going to start with the recognition of outstanding students. So I'm going to introduce Jim Zervis. He's our math K-12 curriculum director. I never get it. I'm sorry. Everyone's always a chairperson. The K-12 thing got me all screwed up.
Thank you. We can give Jimmy a round of applause. We're very happy to see you. Sorry, it sounded very correct. But just because Jimmy's a big part of the work that goes into supporting DECA. So thank you, Jimmy. Kick it off.
My pleasure. It's certainly my pleasure to be here tonight to recognize our DECA students that have advanced the International Career Development Center, International Career Development Conference in Anaheim, California this year. The DECA ICDC is the culmination of the DECA year with more than 20,000 high school students, teachers, advisors, business professionals, and alumni gathering for several days of competition. DECA is an extracurricular activity that meets outside of the school day for students enrolled in business classes. Mr. Camiso is the advisor for DECA. He couldn't be here tonight, and I know how much these students love to work with him. So thank you to Mr. Camiso for his time and dedication to all the students, and also to Mr. O'Brien and the other chaperones that are going to spend part of their spring break in California with you guys, because it is during spring break. Okay, so we have 15 students that we're going to recognize tonight. 8 of the students have advanced through a series of competitions. First, they excelled at the Long Island Regional Competition. Then they went on to the DECA State Career Conference in Rochester and excelled there. And they've qualified in a few different categories. So I'll say a few names, and then I'll give you the other kids too, and we'll call them off at the end. We'll do it like that? Okay, we'll do it like that. Okay.
When you hear your name come up, you have to just get the hands with all the time.
Okay. All right. So we have Ashna Mooney and Vidhi Shah in the category of marketing. Haley Shah, Suhani Shah, Julia Husiega, and Ali Abdesaldek for buying and merchandising and team decision making.
Alex, congratulations. Great job. No?
That's okay, good.
Wait, is that you?
We should know the kids.
Oh, they all have the wrong one.
Again, you're on.
What happened?
Anybody who comes to the board meeting.
That's why you do one by one.
I just tried to lump it together by category. All right, I'll go.
They're labeled differently.
All right, good. Give them a round of applause. Sorry.
Alicia Matthew. Let's do one at a time.
Yeah, do one.
Joshua Matthew. Allison Chen,
Allison.
Dylan Chen, Jonathan Chen, and Jake Gibbons and Son. Ali Shah,
Anaheim, nice.
Drishti Patel. We said Evan earlier, Evan Dillon, and Avi Ratra.
Everybody give them all a round of applause.
One, two, three, four, five. Come down the step. The rest of you squeeze.
Wow, Jim, you're so good at
I'm
this.
trying.
Yes, yes. Come on, and the board is gonna come join us.
And as they're organizing, don't forget to follow these kids on Herricks, on X and Instagram by following Herricks Deca, Herricks Method.
Come on.
I love how it's like sibling groups. Like we have 3 siblings, and then we have 2 siblings. Alicia and Josh, and then Allison and I are 2 siblings. Oh.
You know, I think just give you a huge round of applause because this is not just a course that they're involved with all day where they take a normal course on classes on top of that. And it's such an incredible amount of work and it takes such discipline and commitment. So a huge round of applause for and their families. Who all help us make this
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But it had chicken and vegetables.
Thank you. Excellent.
It was a big order. I ordered the small pasta and it was good. And I still had a salad.
I just said it like Smile's doing it.
Because it comes from the 16.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I thought she was here for science research.
Oh.
Instant play. No, I got second and third, but they didn't like they're not. None of them are going to ISO.
Wait, I think
We should get we have 62 kids.
Oh, yeah. We
Yes.
should have done that better. Yeah.
wait, you're going to my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna juggle this around right now, and we're gonna go to the personnel report, please. And before we start that, I'm going to let Dina make a couple of announcements.
Great, thank you. So you may or may not know that this year, our Director for Science and Technology will be retiring, Ms. Karen Hughes. And so big shoes to fill, but we are very excited to make a recommendation for an appointment of Director for Science and Technology, Ms. Andrea Brand. So Andrea's here. Yay! So Andrea, welcome to Herricks. We are looking forward to starting our transition with you, and we are excited to have you join our team and see what wonderful and amazing things that you can continue with our team.
Okay, I'm gonna just ask while you're here for someone to move Roman numeral 9B, which is the personnel report, so we can make her official.
I would so move.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's none opposed. Congratulations. Welcome to the family.
Congratulations. And you should know that Andrea comes with a breadth and depth of experience as a science teacher, as a building administrator, as a high school principal, and we're very, very excited to have her join us in July when she begins with us. But again, to echo Dina's words, we're so grateful to Karen for the foundation that she's established. So, please,
I want you to come up
Harry, you
and,
ready?
Harry, get ready.
let's have our first Herricks picture.
Oh, go, go, get in there. Go, right. You didn't know we had a photo shoot. Yeah. Thank you, Andrea. Congratulations.
Okay, so we're going to go to announcements and correspondence. Anybody from the board like to make, let's go start the way I always do. High school representatives, any announcements today?
Yes. So the high school production of Newsies was a big hit, and there were many sold-out shows. And the spring sports season has arrived. There have been many exciting games, and tomorrow there's a boys track and field home meet. And we're glad to announce that the high school has been recognized as a safe sports school, and the district is named one of the America's best community education, which is the 16th year the district has been recognized. And there have been many fundraisers at the high school, like bubble tea sales, Dom's chicken finger sales, and also the Greek Cup sale for Greek Independence Day. And also seniors prom tickets are now for sale, so you can visit the Great Google Classroom for more information.
We're also continuing to prepare for Battle of the Classes, and each grade has started to sketch out their mural, and we're really excited to see how each one turns out. We have themes from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory to Toy Story, so we're pretty excited. Not to forget to mention that Herricks Idol is tomorrow, so make sure to buy your tickets on Show Tickets for You or from Ms. Martin's office. Our AP Biology students are also taking a field trip to Cold Spring Harbor Lab tomorrow, and our peer leadership students worked with senior citizens today at the community center. On another note, my Students Mentoring Young Learners Club, I can't stop talking about the Portrait of a Graduate, but we just did 2 more of the 6 C's. We focused on collaboration and creative innovation, and this week's focus was creative innovation, and we had like a little paper tower challenge, which really challenged the students to think critically and creatively on how to build the tallest tower. And then we went over the descriptors that the district provided of creative innovation and discussed how we use creative innovation in the situation.
Okay. I'm going to open it wide up. Any members from the board have any announcement? Brian, Nancy, Henry?
I just have one. I had the pleasure of attending the PTA council meeting last night. I just want to recognize Madeline. It was Madeline's last meeting. Madeline, I want to thank you for all your years of service. It's not an easy job. We those of you who have been in that role, been in any role in the district, you know, it takes a lot of work, a lot of heart, and a lot of. So thank you for all your years of service. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Nancy?
Well, nothing. Madeline, I can't believe you're done there. From someone that's been there, I know like the amount of time and effort and the time and space away from your family. So it's greatly appreciated by everyone in the district. So thank you.
Henry?
So what do you do the next couple of years?
Wait, is that a proposition?
Okay. So Madeline and I go back to the Center Street PTA, and she's done a great job over the years. Thank you. And it's great to hear the music award to the school district. It's like a baseball dynasty. I won't say Yankees, Mets, but you know, we're up there every year, and it's great. And I know somebody else will probably mention it, but it's Assistant Principals Week, and I want to thank all our assistant principals for the great job that they do. Recognize them. They're sometimes sort of overlooked because they don't have as much of a public role maybe, but they're all great people. So thank them. That's it.
Okay.
So we have a quick update because we've already done our staffing update.
I just need to say that the high school's Newsies was one of my favorite shows, and I think the team, the students just nailed it. As a girl who loves Newsies since the 80s, 90s, they nailed it, and they were amazing. And of course, Roosevelt.
Right, there was that. There was also that. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be talking budget, but I want to start by thanking Athul for talking about the portrait of a graduate. It like fills my heart and soul, and it is something very much connected to the first phase of our strategic plan. And we're thinking about the different ways that we'll be reintroducing the portrait of a graduate and embedding the fabric of the culture of our organization, of our community, and to hear it trickle down into the work that our students do, other students. It's like awesome. I have to echo Dina's sentiments about Newsies. It was literally that triple threat. They were not only acting, they were singing, and they were dancing. And what they accomplished in a short amount of time under the direction of our incredible director, Brooke, whose last name I can't remember right now, but also with the assistance of Scott Stickley and Louise Hamlin, and Anissa, of course, and just the team. It was really such an incredible show and sold out all 3 days, which is pretty awesome. And yes, our spring sports season is off to a great start. And so we're really excited about that. Thank you to our PTA for the university last week. It was a great success. It was really wonderful to attend a couple of the sessions there. And I also want to thank Madeline for her support over the last couple of years as I've started here. She's always been available to me and always open to conversation and giving me perspective. And I know if there's anyone I can count on a reply for an email after 11 p.m., it is Madeline, and we will go back and forth at times. But her commitment in a way that is not just focused on her own family and her kids, but the commitment to all of our kids and our families is greatly appreciated and has been a huge assistance to me as I've transitioned into this role. So thank you very, very much for everything, Madeline, that you've done for me personally and for us as an organization. Very grateful.
Well, believe me, I'll still give you my opinion.
I welcome it. So yeah, and happy National Assistant Principal Week. So thank you for recognizing that, Henry.
I'm going to get to go last. Thank you, Madeline. It's great when you serve on like the PTA council and then you see great people come in your wake, right, after you leave, and you see great people like you come. And it was great as when I was on the council, and I like what Nancy said, but you came with a burst of energy, and you really, with the crew, really did amazing things. So kudos to you and everybody who worked with you, who was fortunate enough to work with you on the council. They're lucky to have you, and we've all been lucky to have you. So, and even to our former boosters president sitting to your right, we thank you too, Jody and Grace. You know, just want to go there. So it's a whole group of people that helped make it right, and you guys did it. And Madeline, thank you. That does not get you out of not baking cookies for the board at the holidays. Just so that you know that. No excuse now. Now you'll have time. No. I got one last night. Thanks. Okay, we're going to move forward, please. I would like to announce the next presentation of budget presentation number 4 by Dr. Sinanis and Lisa. And we're going to let them take over. Should we move out of our way? I'm going to move out of the way.
Just so you can see it too. Take a seat down there if you'd like. Get one. Thanks. Very nice.
I know.
Well, welcome everyone to the latest budget presentation, presentation number 4. Some people in the room got a preview last night, but shh, don't tell anyone, because we did speak about it last night at the district council meeting. And thank you to Madeline again for giving us the time and space to do that. And so tonight's presentation serves as a summary of everything that we've talked about since February publicly around the budget development process. And then the board will have the opportunity to adopt the budget should it be consistent with their vision based on what they've heard over the last couple of months. So I want to take you through the presentation and highlight some of the important things. And before we get into it, I do want to thank Lisa for all of her work in helping to inform this process, and not just from February, but from last year and the years before in planning long-term and thinking about implications of so many different things. And so I'm proud of the budget that we will be presenting to the board for their consideration. So that by the way, is a picture of our flagpole who started their season this year, last week or something. My clicker is not working, but that's okay. We're going to figure it out. Maybe.
Something just changed. Dina changed.
There you go, Gina. Yeah, no, sure. So this is our mission statement that you're familiar with. So I won't bore you by reading it. We have our core values that we reference as well when we make decisions around not only the budget development, but everything from like thinking about courses that we may want to present, thinking about clubs that may exist, thinking about work that we do as a leadership team. So you'll see things like creativity and respect and trust really guiding that work forward. Additionally, we have a portrait of a graduate. We have spoken about that. We will continue to speak about that, thinking about ways that it will be embedded in everything that we do. So it is visible, it is transparent, it is consistent, it establishes a foundation for the work that we will be doing for years to come. We all recently completed a strategic planning process, and that features 5 focus areas for us that we're going to be thinking about in the next 3 to 5 years. And we have some short-term goals and some longer-term goals. And one of the primary short-term goals is around the reintroduction of the portrait of a graduate, which is why you see the POG up in your right-hand top corner. We are also going to be thinking about communication and engagement. That's a foundational piece there, and the other 3 components really will impact the day-to-day work that we do in teaching and learning. There's assessment, there's goals establishment, which connects to our professional learning focus area, and then our digital future, what it looks like for technology integration and beyond moving forward. So we're excited about that. You're also familiar at this point with the board goals that have been established for this school year. That has informed many of our conversations about what we need to prioritize and what we want to focus on. And you'll see the 3 goals that they have established as priorities for this year. Also, there are a number of other things that they are focused on throughout the year. And I thank the board for allowing us to build on these goals and inform our work and connect them to the work that we're doing as a district. And then here's a few pictures of our portrait of a graduate in action. You see, some of our youngest kids as readers. You see some of our students in tech classes, our musicians, and just all the amazing things that happen in Herricks. And we're really proud to sponsor because ultimately everything we do for our kids. So the budget development process is something you've seen at every presentation. There are 5 different phases. We are currently in phase 2, but also be in phase 3 tonight as we look at a budget adoption. And then moving forward, there'll be a budget hearing at our May 9th board meeting, and then the opportunity for the community to go out and vote on May 21st, which is a Tuesday. And voting takes place at the community center from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah. So here is an overview of our district. This is a slide that was present in our first presentation. It just gives you a glance at our district. There are 7 buildings. There are 5 schools. We currently have 4,330 students in our district, and that is, as of yesterday, our enrollment. So we are always looking at that. And then just some of the highlights that you'll hear more about moving forward as well. Our partnership with Northwell, the focus on our seals of biliteracy and civic readiness, and then a number of summer programs as well, just to highlight a few. This slide presents an overview for our community around the projected budget-to-budget dollar increase and the tax levy that is being proposed in this budget presentation. So you'll see in the first area there that we are proposing an increase of $6.9 million for budget to budget. That is a 5.2% increase over the current year. And if you exclude pending claims and associated legal fees, which is something we've spoken at length about over the last couple of years, our increase is more closely around 3.25, which is consistent with the county in general as we look at different school districts across the region, some even going beyond that. What that translates to in our tax levy cap is a 2.38% increase. We are recommending to the board that we go to the levy limit at this point based on the needs of our programming and based on other financial implications moving forward.
This is, thank you. Just a graphical view to represent the majority of our budget. The budget is our total expenditures, just as a reminder, and that is what the community is voting on. And what this graph is showing is that we continue to direct our focus towards our programs and providing an appropriate and safe learning environment for our students by our capital. So the majority of our budget is really focused on maintaining our program, enhancing our programs, and making sure that's done in a safe environment for our students.
There are certain drivers that inform this work, which we referenced. I referenced a little bit earlier. You see our strategic plan, you see our portrait of a graduate, but we're also thinking about things like upgrading technology, prioritizing the safety and well-being of our students, our faculty, our staff, thinking about our district mission, thinking about the social and emotional development of our kids, and then of course always keeping a view on the multi-year implications of the budget development process.
So in the first presentation was an overview, and we had shared a little bit more detail what was comprising the 6.9 million increase in total expenditures. This is a format that's consistent with what you'll see around with the state as well as many other districts. So in the main drivers and the main increases for next year is in our general support. Particularly that is including, we have increases in security at the high school, middle school, and the community center to extend beyond the hours that we normally spend in security until 8 p.m. We have increases in cybersecurity, our insurance, but particularly driving that line is the ongoing claims and legal that Dr. Savanas had already referenced. Instruction really reflects the maintaining our programs, our salary commitments, as well as adding 2 positions, which Dr. Savanas will touch on later on, and continued expansion of our instruction plan in technology. Transportation, what we have in there is predominantly the purchase of 3 buses. We had in our 23-24 budget to lease 5 buses. We did bid for it, and that we got no bidders. So we did need to do an emergency resolution last board meeting because we do have very old buses that were not passing inspection when they were due. This is to finish off the purchase of that we were intending to lease this year. We are also resurfacing our bus compound, and we are seeing an increase in our contractual transportation, which is what we use for predominantly outsourcing our non-public. The other main one is in our employee benefits, which is really a reflection of all organizations, not just school districts, the increase in health insurance costs, as well as the school districts, the participation in the pension plans. Our state aid, we were fortunate, I'm sure you've been watching over the last few months. In January, the governor had released our proposed budget. That budget has not been finalized yet. But we were fortunate as a district that we are seeing an increase next year. We have been, over the last few years, finally getting back to a fully funded status, but we are seeing an increase. We don't anticipate that level of increase going into 25, 26. And again, as you are probably seeing across Long Island and the state, every district is different and facing its own challenges, but we were fortunate going into 24, 25.
So what does that translate into in the day-to-day in terms of the budget and the impact that it has on our buildings, physically speaking, and our faculty and staff and the programs that offered to our kids? Here are just some of the highlights that we want to share with you. And notice all the pictures, and thanks to Harry for helping update the pictures so that they're current and relevant, and we see our kids across a continuum, and you'll hear about them, and you'll understand that the budget supports the fact that we have over 800 kids at high school taking AP exams. We had 4 Regeneron Science Talent Coaches. You'll understand we are in the top 10 in both New York State ELA and New York State math scores in grades 3 through 8. You'll understand that 100% of our varsity teams received the Scholar Athlete Award. And you'll understand that 87% of our classified students earned either a Regents diploma or one with advanced designation. Those are significant accomplishments, and we're proud of that. And this slide could have gone on. There could have been like 12 slides with this much information about the accomplishments, thanks to the work of our students, our faculty, our staff, and the commitment of our families. And here are a couple of highlights around the district that you'll see. We had a care and career fair at the high school. You'll see PS I Love You Day. See our students working with our seniors here at the community center from Center Street. You'll also see some of the artwork. You know, the arts are incredibly important in our community, and that includes art that our students are creating, but also in the music and in theater. There's a picture of music. Additionally, our athletic program is incredibly important, and we are proud of our students in their time that they allocate and commit to being a part of the fencing team or the lacrosse team or the flag football team. And if you ever read Newsday, you always have kids being highlighted like in the top 50 like athletes in this sport or the top 100 athletes in that sport. That's like a huge accomplishment and speaks to their commitment and dedication, and certainly the work of our coaches and Jim Petricka as well in his leadership. So what are some of the specific features of the proposal for the budget for next year in terms of what we're looking to work on? What are we looking to prioritize? We are looking to additional staff positions, one being a counselor at the middle school, and really enrollment is guiding that. We currently have 3. We believe that with 4 counselors, we'll be better able to meet the needs of our students. And you'll see an additional special education teacher at the elementary level, and that is based on student program needs. So those are 2 positions that are being embedded, included in this budget presentation. There's also a number of non-staffing related areas that we are going to be focusing on. The strategic plan is most definitely going to be informing our work. We're thinking about the SEL component, not just about the academic component. We're proud of the partnership we have with Northwell. We want to continue that. We are always refurbishing and integrating new resources into our academic program. This year, our focus will be on history and science, and then certainly technology, which you've heard a lot about, not just in the hardware that our kids access, but also on the back end and thinking about things like cybersecurity, which is incredibly important at this point, and we're proud of the work that our tech team has done in that area. We'll also see, which is annual, we want to replace musical instruments, athletic equipment. We are looking at improving the grandstands at our high school and middle school softball fields, and we're looking at new football helmets for our varsity football team, which would mean our junior varsity football team would get the varsity football helmets if that were to happen this year. Then there are the pieces associated with the transportation, which Lisa touched on. I'm not going to repeat that. One of the things that we're also thinking about and focused on is the continued assessment and monitoring and preparation for zero emission buses. And that's still sort of a dynamic situation within the state, but we need to be monitoring it closely. Then there are a number of facilities improvements that we want to be thinking about and working on. Classroom updates, doors being replaced. That's a constant thing that's always happening. Some work at the middle school around their kitchen and the auxiliary gym. Thinking about replacing backboards at the high school gymnasium. Bathrooms being upgraded. We are working on an energy performance contract, which we're excited about, and will help us improve some areas once we finalize that. Additionally, we're looking at putting new fence around our high school varsity baseball field and the dugouts being improved, playground upgrades at all of our elementary schools. We are looking to continue replacing sink bases at the elementary schools, some concrete work at Denton, some renovations here at the community center, which will be impacted by an increase in our UK programming, but also we have our senior program here. And then we need to purchase a new maintenance van, and other things that we use in maintenance, like auto scrubbers and split units. Was that in there?
Yes.
And then last but not least here, we're looking to increase security at this building and the high school and the middle school through 8 p.m. just to support events and make sure that we are monitoring in and out of those buildings because they are very, very actively used. And then we're looking at supporting, as I mentioned here, the community center, the senior program, adult education that happens here. And we are also looking to replace our software for the food service program, which is a self-sustaining program. So some voter information that might
So key dates just coming up, just make sure you're registered to vote. We always encourage everyone to register through the Nassau County Board of Elections, particularly this year as there is a presidential election. So if you're registering the Board of Elections, it allows you to participate in the general elections. But that said, if you don't have time or can't do it, you can come here to the community center and register for the school budget election only through May 16th. And then mark your calendar for May 21st to make sure you exercise your right to vote from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the community center. And then as of April 22nd, applications for early mail and absentee ballots will be available. That's the first day that we can start accepting. And then any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to Dr. Sinatus or myself or anyone else in our administration team, and they are always in contact with us.
And so we end with this slide picture of our kids, because that's ultimately what's guiding the work that we have done throughout this whole budget proposal process. Just so the community knows, for anyone who has not been able to view this, we'll be doing a recording of this and we'll send it out to the community as well for anyone that hasn't had an opportunity to see this presentation or other presentations. So thank you to the Board of Education for the time and space to share this with you.
Sorry. Okay, thank you, Dr. Sinanis. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for all the hard work. For those of you who don't know, this, while it says phase one was the draft budget that was presented on February 8th, this process really starts October, before that. And as we look at budgets, we're actually looking at budgets for next year and the year after. We're trying to look ahead without having a crystal ball and trying to figure out what we have. The board usually gets a book like this. We used to get it right before the break. And that we used to spend our spring break going through it. But it's got every line item of every budget code in here. We go through this process to actually read everything, not just the generic or the general presentation of the budget.
And a version of that will be available
Online. Yep.
for everyone.
Say, are there any, do any of the board members have any questions or comments at this time for Tony or Lisa?
I don't think so.
No, Brian?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, so I'm going to open up, we're going to move forward so we can get to questions or comments from the public. If you have a question or something you'd like to say about the budget, you could do it at that time. So this is the time period designed for the public to address the board. Please limit your questions or comments to 3 minutes per person. Guidelines include the following. The Board of Education will listen to comments and input from the public. Debate between members of the audience and their board members is inappropriate, will not be permitted. The Board of Education is not permitted to address personnel or individual student matters in public session. Operational matters should be directed to the school administration for handling. The person posing a question or comment should state their name. Only residents and employees of the district may pose questions or comments. Disclaimers are done. Are there any questions or comments from the public at this time? Eric?
Good evening, board. My name is Eric Lowe. Just have a quick question. So in regards to the budget, so I think last night we discussed about there's actually an increase of students coming into the community for the past 4 years. I believe it was 8%, the number was?
Yep.
So if that's the case, my question is obviously, theoretically, or actually has been happening, if there's more students coming in, that means we probably have to increase the budget, which it has been, to hire staff, teachers, and so forth. We even joked around if maybe we'll do trailers, but that's not going to be the case, right?
We're not doing that.
No.
Right. So question is, if that is the case, is that sort of the catalyst that if the state aid increase as well, if they see that there's an increase of students coming in? Because obviously for the past 4 years, it's been 2% per year, but moving forward, it's probably more, who knows?
So state aid, which is the second main funding source for the district, of that state aid, foundation aid is what they call the largest component. And it's a very long formula, but yes, to answer you, enrollment is one of the elements in that driving that formula as it stands today. Again, we have seen it where they've frozen the formula, changed the formula, but as the formula stands today, enrollment is one of the factors. The other elements are income in the wealth of the district, the population of E&L learners, free and reduced participation. So there's many, but enrollment is one of them, which is why one of the reasons you are seeing where for Herricks speaking went up as well.
Shahida?
Hello. Hi. Good evening. I'm Shahida Qureshi. A couple of comments. Number one, I wanted to say that I had the privilege and honor of attending the SEPTA Student Peer Award ceremony at the middle school. So that was just an amazing event. And yeah, Tony, you were there. Just highlighting one of the 6 C's that we look at, portrait of God. So it was really just a very beautiful ceremony, heartwarming, and I was really privileged to attend. And we also wanted to thank Madeline for her amazing job. And I know you're not going. I know. And I wanted to congratulate Grace for ascending to the new role of president. So thank you guys. She looked up. That's what happened. And I also wanted to thank Nancy for all her amazing work on the Board of Ed. And, we're sad that you were leaving, but we also are thankful that you are giving the opportunity for someone else to step up. So thank you for everything you've done. That's it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we're going to move forward. Let's move to Roman numeral 9, and we're going to exclude letter B from that.
And I'd like to move Roman number numeral 9, letter A, C, D, and E in their entirety.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. So now we're going to move to recommended actions. So I'm going to have Henry read the adoption of the 24-25 general fund budget.
I'd like to move Roman numeral 10, item A, adoption of the 2024-2025 general fund budget. The following resolution has been prepared for the board's consideration. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby adopts the budget for the 2024-25 school year in the amount of $141,710,364. And be it further resolved that the following proposition shall be placed on the ballot for the May 21st, 2024 budget vote and election in substantially the following form. Resolved that the Board of Education of the Herricks Free School District is hereby authorized to expend the sum of $141,710,364 in accordance with the budget submitted for the school year 2024-25 and to levy the necessary tax therefore.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Brian, want to move B, please?
Yeah, I'd like to move B, approval of property tax report card in its entirety.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye. Sorry.
Okay. Nancy, C and D,
Yeah, I'd like
please.
to move item C and D, approval of settlement agreements and releases both in their entirety.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're going to move E. Now, E require a call vote of all the individuals here, an individual vote when we get through it. So I'm going to suggest to Henry that we read the bold in the beginning, right? And then the balance to be moved as presented.
I'd like to move Roman numeral 10, item E. Bond resolution of the Herricks Union Free School District, New York, adopted April 4th, 2024, authorizing the payment of settled claims, stating the estimated total cost thereof is $5 million, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $5 million bonds of said district to finance said appropriation, and the balance of the motion as printed.
Can I have a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay. Are there any discussions on this motion?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to call the vote. Mr. Hassan,
Yes.
Ms. Feinstein,
Yes.
Mr. Zanetti?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. That's 4. Okay. Brian, can you move F through N, please?
Yeah,
Well,
like-
we should say the resolution was adopted.
Didn't the vote do that? Do I have to say
I
it?
don't know. I think we should say.
Okay, the motion was adopted.
Okay.
I'd like to move Roman numeral 10, letters F through N, approval of New York State Department of Health, Healthcare and Mental Hygiene Worker Bonus Agreement, BOCES cross contracts, bids, and contracts in their entirety.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nancy, O and P, please.
I'd like to move O and P, approval of trip for high school math lead students to attend the New York State Math League, and approval of trip for high school DECA students to attend the International Career Development Conference.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Sorry, I'm losing it. I said Q when you said all in favor instead of I said Q because it was the next thing. It's
You're
fine.
leaving just in time.
Ms. Feinstein would like to change her vote. Aye.
Okay.
You want me to move Q?
Well, since you already started, go right ahead.
I'd like to move Q, acceptance of Smart Start grant funds.
Second to that.
I'll second.
No one say R when they say I now, okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Brian, Henry, move R, please.
I'd like to move R, acceptance of donation from the New York Schools Insurance Reciprocal. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts a monetary donation in the amount of $1,000 from New York Schools Insurance Reciprocal, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Suite 905, Uniondale, New York, 11553, to be used towards the water filtration system.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I saved S for you because I figured you'd get enjoyment in clearing something obsolete. So go ahead, Brian.
So Roman numeral 10, letter S, approval to dispose of district property 2006 Chevy Silverado pickup truck.
I'll second.
There is no mileage, unfortunately. I'm sure
Just
it's a
says the
lot.
truck is beyond repair.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the truck is beyond repair. That's what the note says here. Okay, we're going to move to questions or comments from the public. No one's come or gone, so the same disclaimers apply. Are there any questions or comments from the public at this time? Okay. Are there any new business or future agenda items from any of the board members?
No, but I will not be at the next meeting, Tuesday, April 16th.
Okay. Okay, next meeting is April 16th, Tuesday at the Community Center. It's a regular and BOCES budget vote and trustee election. May 9th at the Community Center is another budget hearing, and it will also be our tenure reception for those employees who have proven their worth to the district. May 21st, Tuesday, it's here at the Community Center. It's the budget vote and the trustee election. May 23rd at the Community Center, it's a regular meeting and recognition of retirees and student reps. And June 16th, 2024 at the Community Center will be our regular meeting.
June 6th.
June 6th.
June 6th, what did I say?
16th. Bloom Day.
We're paying attention. We're paying attention.
Maybe it's my way to go. Okay, I failed to announce, as I've done at the other meetings, that there are 2 trustee positions open. Petitions can be picked up for those interested in running for the Board of
Education.
Yeah, I was trying to say trustee for the Board of Education for the Herricks School District. Can be picked up in the night time. It started too early today, and it's too late.
We've been here a while already.
Can be picked up in the district clerk's office for anyone interested. I'd like to motion for adjournment.
Second.
No, does somebody else have to do it? Can't do it, right?
I said I'd like a motion. for
Okay,
adjournment.
I so move.
I said second before you said.
Wow, she's really getting out of it. She's been here too early today. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all and good night. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Or Q.
That was so fun.